Hello, Jonathan Bobrow here. I figured I'd take the opportunity, since we haven't really done any experiments or tests with Troxes, to try and see how much weight they can support. So I'm up here on top of a building in Queens, and you can follow me into the gym. This is going to be probably a little awkward because nobody in the gym knows what I'm doing. But basically, I've got a whole bunch of gym weights set up at 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds. And I figured we'll see how many of them I can stack on Troxes and see when they collapse. So yeah, hopefully this works out. Let's see. All right. All right, so I've got a little setup here. As I mentioned, we got 5, 10, 15, 25. And then here's our setup for the paper, and I figured we can weigh it just to show how much weight this really light paper can support. So, all right, I'm gonna give it a shot. Let's see. There we go. Is that a good? Perfect. So first, I've got a sample pack of Troxes here. I'm gonna have to put them together. So let's weigh them. So each piece is about 0.07 ounces. Awesome. 16 ounces in a pound. And so now I need to make the third piece. I'm going to set it on top of 3 because 3 will allow me to create a nice flat plane. And maybe if this is your first time seeing them come together, this is one of my I think the most satisfying part is pushing in each of the connectors. So, let's see. All right, and 4 pieces, remember 4 pieces is the minimum amount to create a Trox. All right, so after we've put the 2 pieces together, we add 1 more and do this. Now these 2 meet and they just press in like so. And so now we've got it almost together, but there's one more piece that needs to go in. All right, and so lock that in, and I'm not being particularly careful with this, which means, you know, maybe it can support more weight if I'm a little bit more careful, but that's, all right. So we've got 3 TetraTroxes, and I'm gonna try and distribute the weight as evenly as possible on these 3. That seems like a pretty good way to go. Well, let's see if it can even support 5 pounds. So here's 5 pounds, and nice, seems to support that just fine. So 5 pounds on 3. Let's see if we can do 10. It's not exactly super incremental. All right, 10 pounds seems to be fine. Yeah, pretty sturdy. Let's see if we can do 15. That's 15 pounds. All right. 15 pounds. Seems to be like we're getting a little close to the limits here. Still feels sturdy though, so we'll keep going.
Yep.
Now I'm kind of curious, I want to take some guesses. All right, 20 pounds on 3 TetraTroxes.
Wednesday night, I must be pretty orthodox. Yep.
All right, so 20 pounds. And I think the one that's alone is getting a little bit more of the weight. So it's crushing a little bit, but it's holding up 20 pounds. Let's see if I put it a little bit closer to this side. Yeah, 20 pounds seems to be still holding up. Let's try 25. All right, so at 25 pounds, that seems to be the break point. Let's see if you can kind of get a sense that it's pretty crushed. So 25 pounds, although on the other side, they actually seem to be doing just fine. So maybe the next time I do this test, I won't use 3, because the blue one and the red one seem to be just fine. So orange one, not as much. All right, so that's the first time I've tried to see how much weight they can support. At 25 pounds, it crushed one of the 3. So each one can support more than 5 pounds, I guess is safe to say. And maybe it's closer to 10 pounds if it's evenly distributed. Yeah, maybe some more testing. Give me some thoughts if you think there's a better way to test it too. All right, thanks for joining me.